Hello everyone, welcome back for an orientation session on JPACT. Quickly want to go through a few um, key notes of what today's session is all about. I've documented it all so it'll save us time and I can do a very short orientation session, guide you through the whole thing. So primarily we'll talk about JPACT, we'll talk about what all gets included as part of it, how we will approach it, why something like a JPACT program can help you. There are a lot of poll questions that I created, but let's see if we can get to the polls. But at least I want to focus on how this can benefit your team. And to go back, one of the key things that I would like to emphasize is this is a program which we've been doing for over a decade, team. And when you go to itlearn.com and look at your various membership options, you will see that JPACT is one program where you still have a year's access. You do access all the live trainings and video catalog that you're eligible with in the premium package. But what you are looking at are resources, project work, and a few more things that will help you through certifying what you've been learning and also assisting you in the entire job placement activities team. For lifetime access members, while the content that they can access via videos or live trainings should be available for them, the only challenge becomes when have to upgrade to JPAC team for at least that year. And the reason that is essentially is it's gonna involve certain effort that will go from our end to ensure that you're back in the track. So we have lifetime members for over 10-15 years now, and they come back maybe once or twice in this 10-15 years whenever they need to go back into the career roadmap and be it growing in the organizations or new opportunities. So that is what the focus is, team. So it is all about how can you go through the entire placement process and make sure that whatever you're learning gets applied correctly. So the three phases, team. One, definitely you have the training phase. The training phase primarily is talking about the fact that what we're currently also doing. So apart from the new AI ML trainings that we are doing, both on the quality engineering space and also as a pure Python from a data science and machine learning aspect, all the courses are available prior to that as well, team. So you have a catalog, and depending on which membership you're taking, either you're enrolling for JPACT or a lifetime access or the premium membership, and you can always switch or upgrade between these. Now, so you would find all the content that we're adding. I'll also create a new one for this JPACT 2025. So you'll start finding resources there. And you have all the chapters organized for you. So this is an ongoing training with AIML with Python level 1. We have maybe another 3 sessions left. And we're doing this in the weekends. Pretty interesting. This is something you should try and join live. It's very interactive. Or you can also log into your membership and start watching it, team. So these are the trainings that are ongoing. We also have the QA to AI. We did some initial uh, getting there where we did a lot of API automation and handle a lot of basic Python concepts. We're going to continue to add to this team, and there are plenty of test automation tools. In fact, let me get this, that I've been evaluating consistently to make sure what each of them are doing, team. So both as part of what I was doing in my job, where I evaluate innovations happening in the space of quality engineering, automation, and the AI, and try and see what products fit into what market. So some of these products like Tosca and Testim and so on have become very popular, team, and especially even Catalan Studio, Apply Tools, and these are SaaS-based solutions. Each of them are getting into a good amount of AI/ML features, simple things like codeless automation, self-healing, visual testing, or test data generation. So these are capabilities that they're consistently adding team. So I would like to add a couple more here. Maybe also do Playwright and a few things that will get us going to the QA to AI program team. So there are trainings that will continue to get added here, but our focus through JPACT is totally different. Excuse me. We're not going to mix this with the trainings, is all I'm saying. And the reason is, uh, what else will we do as part of JPACT? So training is ongoing, even if a premium member lifetime access. But what specifically we're adding to JPACT are projects and the placement activities. So when it talk about projects team, there are two types of projects that are ongoing. One, this I've been consistently researching on test automation, and in fact, 2008-9 is when I got first introduced to QTP, created a keyword-driven framework, then migrated to Selenium and did a lot of innovation consistently. And Eniot was a platform that I launched about 2015, which primarily did a lot of good UI and API test automation, low code, no code kind of frameworks. But with AI coming in place, there are three new things that we're going to be working team. Each of them are different complexity levels, but you'll understand as you progress, you may not need to do all the three projects. You may be doing one. It's your interest. It's the amount of time that you can spend, but we will try and do three projects as a group. The first is a custom newsletter team. You'll see how you can build an AI assistant that will do a lot of um, your daily task automation and more from a one-way communication where I just want information coming in. Then QE framework, that's something we can build using Python and make it AI enabled and let it talk to different LLMs and chatbots and how we integrate those things together. This is going to be again very interesting team, something that for most of my audience, a large portion of them come from the software testing and automation side and the quality engineering. So this could be something that could apply to you. So if you're someone who's in the QA QE space, these kind of projects that you add to your profile becomes very, very resourceful for you. Then we're going to build an AI agent team, and whatever you're doing in the first two projects is primarily going to be stitched together into one platform with multiple more capabilities. And this is something I will talk when we start off with our first session. So we'll go through each one, and our approach is going to be very simple team. I'll come to client driven requirements, but when we are building a product or so, um, four step. So we will define a scope and we will identify the tech that is required. So there are so many options that we could do using, but why do we choose certain, and how do we get that? In fact, I asked AI to help me with an approach. I'll show you that quickly. The window should be still open. The next thing that we'll do is build a minimal viable product team. This MVP that we create will be a prototype that will be easily giving a gist of what these products can do, and it should have the minimum capabilities and functionalities, so you get a look and feel, you get to experience that application without having to build the entire thing and having to redo. Based on this, you can continue to add more integrations, more capabilities, you can test and refine. And finally, we will deploy and manage this the release cycles team. So you will continue to release new versions, maintain it, and see how it's going. This does not have to be 2 weeks each. For example, the scope definition, how we do the requirement analysis, document, then can be done much more quicker. But since depending on how many times we're meeting in a week, that's how we will put that together. Yeah, sorry, just making sure. Any questions, team? I know I've been going through a one-way speech, but maybe another 10 minutes, I should be able to give you the entire aspect of it. Let me also show you what I was doing with Grok, the X powered or X Twitter AI assistant. So here's what I asked. I plan to develop an AI agent for handling simple tasks. So one of those projects that we're going to be working is what I said. I didn't give complete details of exactly what. What is a good roadmap? That is my key thing that I would like to see. And I want the output to be at a high level. I don't want a very detailed approach and go ballistic. I just want to get a gist of approach. The reason I was doing this is while we go about product engineering and product development consistently as a cycle, it's good to recheck if what we are thinking, our thought process is same as what could be a standard application. And remember, team, all of these are still experimental, so there's never the best or correct answer. You got to check what they say. So purpose and scope, remember, that is what we're talking about. Why, what are we trying to build? What is the target audience? Metrics are very important, team. End of the day, whatever you're doing, you should be able to measure. It'll give you, especially with coding and automation, you have all the capabilities to be able to achieve that. So you consistently look at what kind of metrics you want, so that will outline how your application can be evaluated. Research and choosing core technologies, right from NLP and how we are doing task execution using LangChain integrations, or even simple Python scripts and for basic logic. These are the things that we will work on. The other thing that we'll need to look at is infrastructure. Do you want to do it on your local desktop, use Raspberry Pi, or put it on the cloud? And from a programming language, we've been working on Python recently. There's a lot will happen in Java world also soon. Java, eventually C Sharp. Both Java and C Sharp are much more faster when it comes to the large data sets and so on. But Python has those libraries, better pandas and so on to explore more. So we'll keep going there, team. So we'll continue to use Python also primarily because it has a good friendly AI ecosystem that's linked. Architecture. So we'll design an architecture team, and that talks about the entire flow. It'll talk about where we start, how the entire what is my output that is going to be happening, and what will get processed in between. And we'll also talk about how the cycles happen, where the human element comes, what AI will do, what our automation scripts will do. So that will be a good diagram that we should definitely draw. This is something I love doing as well, as my core capability within architecture space. Okay, MVP. So minimum viable product. What is what we're talking about? So start with the basics. So you build a prototype, you get to test and see if everything is addressed, and keep adding, keep expanding more capabilities. So look at things like, what are the tasks that you want to do? Like, do you want to get in your newsletter calendar, your emails read, your weather details, you want something on sports? What is it that we want? Individually, you can go and do all of these teams. There's so many other tools also coming up who assist you. There's N8N that can help you build these AI agents and so on. So you got to look at what are the small things. End of the day, it should be something that is easy and digestible for you. So this is exactly what I copied and said that this looks like a decent high level timeline, and that's what I put in. So you want to be able to take and build confidence through each and every project that you work on, get new skills. So what are you learning, or what are you missing in the gaps? You'll something you can cover in your project work. The client driven requirements team, I'm consistently working on them. Um, and in fact, now with what I've been focusing on last few months, I think there's a lot coming in place. So I'll talk about it, team. I'll reach out individually. Some of these are actual billable projects as well. So I could really use some in the crowd testing space, and some implementation roadmaps that we're doing, some testing that could be done for AI bots. All right. So that's the project. So there's a lot that we will do together in the project. And the way we will be doing, team, is you could continue to work on the project for a year. If you're unable to finish the first month, second month, keep coming back. Keep the project will be ongoing. You could switch between projects and increase your involvement or decrease your involvement, team. You don't necessarily need to be doing everything yourself. So there'll be a team effort, and that is where you rely. you choose what you could contribute in. So we meet a couple of times a week, or maybe 4 times a week, depending on how we're progressing, where we are. And you are the one who's going to be speaking team. You're the one presenting, talking about it, and I continue to guide you. And the AI assistant that we're doing for the each and every JPACT activity. So as you're working on the project, there's the focus also has to go back onto the placement team. And the multiple activities that are there, and each of them we've been doing it across our career. But then what can we do this time with AI assisting us? Assisted by AI. All right. So right from evaluating your job market, so you're upskilling yourself, you know which areas you need to focus, what are your gaps that you're trying to fill. You evaluate your current CV and you update your profile and make sure that you mention about this project works that you're working on. So if you just talk about that, you know what, I took a training certification, paid $3,000, $4,000 from a reputed, premium uh, facility somewhere, one of those universities itself. Uh, if, all top universities have been offering these programs, team, boot camps, workshops in AI, and few $1,000s, it'll give you a certificate, but how do you prove that? What is your proven skill when you go into uh, uh, putting it on your profile? How confident are you? That is what your project will do. So that based on your involvement there and how you're learning, you will be confident by taking the certification and really putting it in your profile. How do we post on job boards? Has things changed? Social media, how do we use that? Right from LinkedIn all the way to any other networks, how can it help? uh, what's your job application process? How do you go into your interview preparations? And this becomes important, team. So having some mocks and having some reviews with me is what you're looking at. So as part of your JPAC, I would assist in a lot of these activities along with your team. I will make a checklist of this, and each of you can, along with me, maintain as to what is happening. So it'll be a folder that just you and I have, where your documents are there with us, so you don't have to um, worry about it being shared with anyone else. And we work through step by step, make sure that all is ready for you from that perspective. So that is where the effort comes in, team, both on the placement assistance and guiding you to the project. So while you're working on it and you come back every week, talk about what is the new development that you've done in each of the phases. I'll guide you towards what's happening, how can we do better, or this is beautifully done. Those are the things, instant feedbacks that will keep helping you to be motivated and working on a team. So spoke a lot about it, and if I need to summarize in terms of why JPACT, if you're learning new skill but you don't have that exposure or build that confidence, then this is the program that will give you, team. You basically are going to be working as a team on multiple projects. So, and I realize that each of us have different skill sets and interests. How do we make sure that everyone gets a chance to contribute? Sometimes I've seen in a team, let's say there are about 3 teams, each team is about say about 10 people and 30 people, 3 teams doing different uh, uh, activities or scope. And within that, there are 2 or 3 people who are just an observer team. And to a large extent, they will see if they can contribute with some documentation or testing new developments and any suggestion, because either they're not confident or they're too busy with their current activities, and but still want to be involved. And that is where you may not be involved in the project that is happening in this couple of months till May, let's say, but something in August, September, October could be, you may want to come and say, you know what, I'll start coding, I'll start contributing into the project. So you get to add it to your profile, team. And that is where, once I start working with you, I could talk about in a reference saying that, yes, how did you contribute into it? So that's primarily it that I wanted to talk about JPACT. So you can do it all from itlearn.com. And I'm going to look at questions. I also wanted to put up some good polls. I did, but I won't split this video into 2 parts. One, just presenting what JPACT is doing, and second, all about these polls. Yeah. So polls team, at at the high level, what is your career status? What's your goal? Is AI needed for your career? And I think a big answer to that is yes. I mean, that's an advantage that is given to you. It's free to use to a large extent, and even if you're using paid versions of, even any of this OpenAI or Chat GPTs of the world, it's not that expensive. And what are you currently using AI for? That's very important, team. And if you're using AI to learn, to assist you in coding, to be able to, assist you in, let's say, your resume preparation or job hunting process, great. So continue to get more of that uh, thing, team. I'll keep guiding, but whatever you're exploring also could be very relevant. Will not, can AI help in job hunt? Okay. Will AI help in job hunt? I think that was the question that I wanted to ask. It's not can, it is just will. So how much are you? I want to talk about which country, team, because some of the crowd testing are distributed across geos, but that's something that I can also see your registration database and get that from there. Um, yeah, so is JPAC needed for you? That's something you need to evaluate, team. And what is important for me from, I mean, what are you looking at? So you could be not interested team in JPAC at this point, or would like, or you might be interested in continuing. Evaluate what it is, see some of the content earlier, look at, if you want to really get project and get your hands dirty into it, then it'll help you. Okay. And prioritize yourself, team. What's your goal? What are you trying to do? And depending on that, you should be able to um, choose your involvement. Great. So we'll get into Q&A. I'm sure most of you will have a lot of questions, but thank you for this portion of the video or this session. I'll see you in hopefully next week, team. So everything that I'm doing from a schedule perspective is there on GoToWebinar. So if there's anything that I'm changing also, I'm going to put it up in here, team. So uh, there is the weekend training, and then I put a few out here on how we're meeting Monday, Wednesday, Thursday for JPACT. So those are the sessions, and you'll get a reminder on your email. So keep them handy as well. That's it. Thank you all. We'll see you back in the Q&A and future sessions. Bye. Have a good one.